Man, some of y'all are like, man, I almost quit. I almost quit. I was frustrated. In fact, I almost didn't even come here. Take responsibility of your life, dude. Take responsibility, like identify. You write these 3 things down, okay? Write these 3 things down. You take responsibility of your life and the lives of others. Not just your life, but the life of others. So you think of ownership, right? Taking extreme ownership. Well, man, Kuliana is taking extreme ownership, but not just for your own life, but for the lives of others. Meaning as you improve your life, naturally, others are gonna improve. You take responsibility for your life. That's what they did, by the way. Took responsibility for their life and the lives of others. That's Kuliana. Number 2 is whatever's holding you back, you identify what that problem is. If it's time, it's time. Let's run into this thing. Let's figure it out. If it is identity, sweet, let's figure that out. Let's run right into that storm. You identify it. Some of us don't take the time to identify it, which is why we continue to run around in the storm. We have to identify it. These are the components right now that I'm walking you through that are the secret sauce. And I'm gonna prove it to you and show it to you. But this is the secret sauce. Number 1, once again, take responsibility. Number 2, identify the problem. And number 3, attack it head on. Run directly into the storm, especially when you wanna quit. If you've wanted to quit along this journey, say I. Man, some of y'all are like, man, I almost quit. I almost quit. I was frustrated. In fact, I almost didn't even come here. Anybody else feel that way? Of course, you're not alone by feeling that. You're actually normal by feeling that. You're so normal, man. That shit happens. Listen, man, it happens. What causes that, though? It's our feelings. It's our feelings. We just get into our feelings. You know, I heard Charlie at lunch. Charlie says, I won't tell you like what to do. I was sitting back there, I was like, I'm gonna tell him what to do. I'm telling him what to do. You run directly into the damn storm, man. That's what you do. Whatever your storm is, you identify it and you run right into it, dude. And he's essentially saying the same thing. He's just telling you need to identify your storm, and I'm telling you the exact same thing. Identify, don't run from that. Run right into it, dude. That's where growth happens. That's where the exciting shit happens, dude. It's fun, man. Run right into that, but it's our feelings, okay? It's one of my favorite quotes, okay, from the book is a Tim Grover quote, if you know who Tim Grover is. He says, everyone who has finished something has one thing in common, the urge to quit. There's not a winner out there who hasn't thought about quitting at some point. Listen, you can't make the commitment to win until you've tasted the urge to quit. Come on. You can't make the commitment to win until you've tasted the urge to quit, which means this, if all of y'all have tasted the urge to quit, let's fucking win. Are y'all ready? Let's make the commitment to win, man. Let's make the commitment to win, man. We've tasted it, and if you haven't, go push yourself. If you haven't tasted the urge to quit, you are not pushing yourself, man. You are not pushing yourself. Do you know how many times I go into my office and I'm like, what am I doing? Because this shit is hard, man. Business is hard. Doing big, scary, audacious, it's hard. There's never any business that you're gonna love every aspect of the business. That's a fallacy. It's false. It's not real. Balance isn't real, man. I was talking to Zach Jones. Zach is telling me, I don't know if Zach is still here, but he's telling me he just had twins. He's like, how do you balance? And Dustin was like, you don't balance. That ain't a real thing, you know? It's like, it's not a real thing. Like you lean one way, you lean the other way. And I was like, dude, sometimes I think that you guys just think that everything's just happy, glory, just good. Listen, man, me and Britt didn't see each other for a long time in the beginning, man. She was working, I was working, we were passing in the night. And guess what? I'm so grateful for those times, man. What's crazy is I actually look back at those times, and even though I thought in the moment when I was in the frame that those were my toughest, darkest, hardest times, I cherish those times. You wanna know why? I find like so much gratitude for them. You wanna know why? Because it forced me to be home with my kids. I was home, unobstructed time. Listen, when mom's home, mom's the favorite. It's a fact. Mom's the favorite. I can't even get a snuggle and a hug. I'm telling her to go to the grocery store, go to the gym, let me just have them. She's the favorite, man, for good reason. Britt's a beast in the best way. So I had unobstructed time. You know how much that meant for me and my kids, my relationship with my kids? But I couldn't see it in the moment. I see it now, but I couldn't see it in the moment. How do we start changing things and see it in the moment, you know? How do we do that? You know, it's funny, we talk about all these amazing things people have done, right? The Charlies, the Inkies, the Emilys, okay. Well, I'm about to tell you about some more amazing shit. Are you guys ready? That I've done. Little League Baseball. Y'all ready? Little League Baseball. Now that may sound silly, because it is silly. But by the time we wrap this up, you're gonna understand that it ain't so silly, man. Okay, I love baseball. I've loved baseball my whole life. And growing up, baseball was life. That's what it was. And at the end of each year, they did what was called the UBBA. It was a tournament. All the best teams got together. Like they take all the best teams from the different cities and they went to a tournament. Well, I was on the Astros. And the Astros were not one of those top teams. Fact, they were not good. We were not good, okay? But the Blue Jays were another team. And they picked up, they call it pickup pitchers. What they would do is they'd pick up a couple pitchers to preserve the arms of these 8 and 9-year-old kids. So I got picked up on the Blue Jays as what we call a pickup pitcher. And for good reason, because I was an absolute unit when I was 8 and 9 years old, dude. Chucking heat, hitting bombs. I was killing until that tournament. Woo! Until that tournament, dude. Listen, we'll just fast forward through all of the errors, all of the strikeouts, it was not good, dude. It was a rough tournament. Rough tournament. Fast forward just to the championship game, though, because that's when I really shit the bed, dude, was the championship game. That was the worst part, man. That was the worst part. Like, it is the last inning. So the good news, it's the last inning, okay? We're up by 5 runs. The bad news, I'm the only pitcher that still has innings left, meaning I am the only person that can pitch, which means they had no other option but to put my ass in, which is just not going well. But I'm like, dude, we're up by 5. It's the last inning. A freaking monkey could do this. I'm good. Gives me an opportunity. Maybe I can rebound. Maybe I can close this thing out and I can rebound, right? Change the narrative. We'll fast forward, but spare you the details, but by the time the dust settled on the first half of the last inning, we were now down by 5 runs. They should have brought the damn monkey in, man. It was not good. But listen, the Blue Jays team were beasts. They were killers, man. Good group, like good team. So within a few swings, we still had our last at bats. So with a few swings of the bat, we were back in the game, okay? Bases are loaded. We're down by 4. Our best player, his name is Johnny Welsh, man. Johnny Welsh, best player up to the plate. And everybody's like, let's go. Johnny's a beast, let's go. Well, I'm in the on-deck circle. And I see the catcher do one of these. Which means they are intentionally walking Johnny Welsh, scoring a run because they want me up at the plate. That shit's demoralizing. To make it worse, I hear my dad in the crowd go, oh shit. I mean, rough, dude, rough. And I'm panicking a little bit. I'm like, holy shit. Like, and I can't even imagine, like, from my parents' perspective now, as a parent, I actually can't even, like, my heart actually kind of aches at this, right? Like, my confidence is at an all-time low. Great chance that it's gonna get worse. And they can't help me at all, you know? But still, I wasn't worried about them, dude. I was worried about me. I need some freaking help. I need to figure that shit out. And dude, I learned a lot about this, learned a lot about myself, which I'll tell you this, no matter what the situation is, no matter what's going on, we have to remain steady, focused, calm. Like our mind has to be stronger than our feelings. Our mind, no matter what's going on, no matter what situation is going on, no matter what our mind has to be stronger than our feelings. Way too often, man, we let these feels get up in here. But you know what? It's one of my favorite Dallas Pruitt principles, which is catch yourself in error-ridden thinking. Because when you can catch it, because I promise you, man, no matter what level that you're at, you have them. You let your feelings filter. You have them. The difference, though, is we catch it quicker. We can catch it quicker, which means if we catch it quicker, we can correct and we can maintain our momentum, which is key. But man, our mind has to be stronger than our feelings. How many of you remember this slide from the 3-day boot camp? Say aye. Remember, your perspective drives your performance, okay? Your perspective drives your performance. When you say, it's never, I can't, it's, that's horrible. It's never, I can't, it's, how can I, man? Hey, Inky said, how you view what you do impacts how you do what you do, or something like that. He said it a lot cooler, but how you view what you do will impact how you do what you do, right? That's exactly it, man. Like when you say, I can't, listen to me. When you say, I can't, what are you left with? Nothing, man. You've made a decision that you cannot do whatever you said that you cannot do. But when you say, how can I? Now what happens? You know, your mind has no other option if you think about your mind, okay? Dallas also says, ask better questions, get better results. Why? Because when you ask your mind a question, it has no other option but to go to work answering that question. That's powerful. The key, though, is we need to ask better questions. So what questions should we be asking in these moments, right? How can I? What does that do? That opens up the mind to possibility. That opens up the mind to possibility, and man, possibility is beautiful. Possibility is beautiful.